Is Red Bull demanding too much of Liam Lawson? The young Kiwi driver revealed that a Red Bull seat is waiting for him, but only if he impresses every single week. And with the threats and scare tactics Dr. Helmut Marko sends his way, can he pull it off? Plenty to unpack in today's video, so let's get started. Liam Lawson is ready to tackle the final races of the 2024 season, stepping into a V-carb race seat with Red Bull's expectations riding on his shoulders. After a year on the sidelines as a reserve driver for both Red Bull teams, the Kiwi racer will fill the gap left by Daniel Ricciardo for the championship's closing 6 races. Lawson made a memorable impression during his 5-race stint last year, filling in for Ricciardo at AlphaTauri after the Aussie suffered a hand injury in a crash. Now he's back with a renewed focus, aiming to secure a full-time seat for the 2025 season. But Lawson hasn't competed in any racing series this year and has spent limited time in an F1 car aside from a few testing sessions. So, what specific goals has Red Bull set for him as he embarks on this crucial chapter? Lawson shared insights on the F1 Nation podcast, shedding light on the targets he needs to hit to achieve his ambitions. Basically, they're expecting me to perform at least as well as Yuki, I would say, is what the goal is from the team. They want me to match him and basically perform. They want points. Obviously, the team is fighting for 6th in the Constructors, and that's quite important for V-carb. So to basically score points is the goal. If we're scoring points, then I think, at that point, we're basically doing a good job. So that's, honestly, the target that's been set. But we're always being evaluated. It's been like this since I was 16, joining Red Bull. It's always performance that's always under evaluation, so it's no different to how it's always been. For Liam Lawson, the immediate objective is crystal clear: secure the vacant seat at V-carb for F1 2025. But whispers of a potential promotion to Red Bull Racing next season have been swirling in the rumour mill. Sergio Perez has faced a challenging season, contributing to Red Bull's slip to 2nd place in the championship standings. Fortunately, recent revelations regarding the team's developmental oversight might have levelled the playing field for the Mexican driver. While Perez is contracted with Red Bull through 2025, any decision to make a change could pave the way for Lawson to partner with Max Verstappen. Still, Lawson isn't letting those prospects cloud his focus, as he has yet to secure any seat for the upcoming season. "It's not in my mind," he said, "but I'm definitely aware that being in the 2nd team of Red Bull Racing, that the future, if I do a good job, is going to be going there. My goal is to go to Red Bull Racing in the future, and I know that obviously from their side as well, they're trying to look for the future, for when either Max or Checo Perez eventually go somewhere. Then they always need drivers to be ready for that. So I'm basically aware that, if I do a good job, that's where my future is. When that can happen, that's not something I'm really thinking about, because I know that it's going to completely depend on how I go in my current seat." With just 6 races left to shape his future, Liam Lawson is feeling the heat as he strives to impress his Red Bull bosses and secure a full-time seat. The challenge ahead is daunting, especially considering his limited time behind the wheel compared to his rivals on the grid. But Lawson is approaching the pressure with confidence, thanks to the rigorous sink or swim philosophy of Red Bull's junior program led by Helmut Marko. He believes this intense preparation has equipped him to rise to the occasion and showcase his talent on the track. "The hardest part is when you're very young," he said of the program. "For me, when I was 16 and 17 years old, my first year with Red Bull was going from not being with a junior team and just having my guys from New Zealand who have helped me get to where I was at that point, to then have Red Bull Racing and have Dr. Marko calling and putting the pressure on you. That was what I really struggled to deal with." And when asked to give more insight on Marko's intense methods, Lawson's answer was, "It's normally a 6 a.m. phone call or something like that, and it'll be, you need to perform better. Next weekend, if you don't perform better, you're in trouble. You know you need to basically win races. It's quite often if you haven't had a good race, if this continues, you may not have a future with this team." It's very cutthroat. But honestly, dealing with that, I'm so thankful to have gone through that with Helmut, honestly. Because to now be at this point and going into F1, it's a huge amount of pressure to step in, and without having that kind of pressure from a young age, I don't think stepping in this late the season, or stepping in like last year, for example, I don't think I would have been able to deal with it without having gone through 5 years of having Helmut. Finishing 2nd in Singapore but trailing over 20 seconds behind Lando Norris, Helmut Marko remains optimistic about Red Bull's prospects as they gear up to debut their final major upgrade package for F1 2024 in Austin. The 2024 championship has unfolded like a rollercoaster for Red Bull, with Max Verstappen initially dominating the early season, but struggling to maintain that momentum in the latter half. A critical misstep with updates during the Hungarian Grand Prix left the team scrambling, leading to makeshift floor experiments before they finally gained traction with a revised floor in Baku. While it wasn't a groundbreaking revelation, it marked a positive step toward recovery for a team that has now experienced an 8-race winless streak since Verstappen's last victory at the Austrian Grand Prix in June. Since that triumph, Verstappen has secured only 3 podium finishes, while Sergio Perez has seen his own top 3 drought stretch back to the Miami Grand Prix. Red Bull's struggles, coupled with McLaren's impressive resurgence, allowed Lando Norris to achieve his biggest winning margin ever in Singapore, finishing 21 seconds ahead of Verstappen. This surge has propelled McLaren to a 41-point lead in the Constructors' Championship, while Norris has steadily chipped away at Verstappen's advantage in the drivers' standings, reducing it to just 52 points over the last 4 races. But Helmut Marko believes that all is not lost. He anticipates that the updates for Red Bull at the Austin GP will represent another crucial step in their recovery. If Verstappen can hit the mark, Marko is confident that Perez will rise to the occasion as well. He shared these insights with Speed Week. In Singapore, Lando Norris showed strong speed and reduced his deficit to Max Verstappen to 52 points. In the Constructors' Championship, McLaren has extended its lead over Red Bull Racing to 41 points. We need to improve significantly to turn things around, and I am optimistic that we will be stronger again in Austin. As soon as Max starts winning races again, Sergio Perez usually steps up, and then the whole situation looks completely different. But to do that, we need a wider working window for the car, which can't just function in a very narrow area, and we need the necessary speed. So those are 2 factors, and I trust our technicians to achieve that. Performance has to be demonstrated on the track, not just in the simulation. In the past, the lack of alignment between simulation and reality was one of the reasons why we were led in the wrong direction. Max Verstappen is confident that his title battle with Lando Norris won't unravel like his fierce rivalry with Lewis Hamilton did in 2021, emphasizing that the atmosphere is very different this time around. During the intense 2021 Drivers' Championship, Verstappen and Hamilton went head-to-head, exchanging blows both on the track and in the media, fueled by barbs traded between their team principals, Toto Wolff and Christian Horner. That season marked Verstappen's first championship title, and he has since secured 2 more, with a 4th now on the line. Currently leading the Drivers' Championship ahead of Norris, Verstappen holds a 52-point advantage, although momentum appears to be with the McLaren driver. With 180 points still up for grabs, even if Norris wins all 6 remaining Grand Prix, claims the fastest lap points, and finishes first in the 3 sprints, Verstappen would only need to finish as the runner-up in each race to clinch his 4th consecutive title by a single point. Verstappen shared his thoughts on why he doesn't anticipate the same level of intensity and rivalry in the final stretch of the season as he experienced in 2021, explaining his perspective to motorsport.com. Yes, because right now we still have 4 teams at the front, while back then you just had the same 2 people up front. Of course, 2021 was my first World Championship, so that was very different already. I think I'm a bit more relaxed about it now. Of course, I want to win, and of course, I'm going to do my best to defend that lead. But the feeling is very different from 2021. With Verstappen admitting to taking things easier this year, can Lando Norris capitalise on this turtle versus hare opportunity? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.